I don't know what you're supposed to do, the tasks, but I just run around, and hope I don't get caught.
I play a lot more than a normal person should.
All of a sudden, people started playing with their friends, and their friends told their friends.
I definitely think it hit at the right time. It's accessible, it's free.
The it that Merced High science teacher Mrs. Downey is referring to is Among Us, the wildly popular app that people can't stop playing. Teachers we talked to said that they first noticed something was up when they would see references to the game in the chat boxes during distance learning Zoom sessions. The secret conversation spilled over into the classrooms when students returned back in November. But instead of taking a negative approach toward the game, Mrs. Downey saw an opportunity to relate to her students and found ways to incorporate it into her class.
As kids were coming in and I was marking them on attendance on Zoom, if they were kids that I felt like would want to play along, or I might ask them ahead of time, I would change their name to imposter before their kids saw it, and then I would get them to guess who that person was. Maybe their camera wasn't on, but they would answer questions in the chat, or you could listen to their voice.
Mrs. Downey also used the game to increase the number of students who came to her for help by holding an Among Us tournament during her office hours, complete with prizes. The event had a great turnout, and as a result made coming to office hours more palatable to students.
Once they realized they could do it, they would come a lot more for other reasons, like asking questions. And it wasn't even only about my classes. They might come and ask for help on an essay, or they might come and ask for help on math, or even help when they're trying to decide what colleges to apply to.
But O2 is right below you. O2 is right below you.
After Mr. Saxton at Buhat Colony High allowed students to play Among Us in his English class as a reward, he says the climate instantly changed.
When I opened the doors a little bit and said, hey, if you guys are done with your assignments and you want to play in the classroom, you can. All of a sudden, lots of bonding, a lot of relationship building started happening.
Mr. Saxton says that there are aspects of the game that translate well into his curriculum.
Doing things like drawing conclusions, in English, that's something that we always do. So you could take clues from the game to figure out who the imposter is.
Mrs. Woodall, the librarian at Golden Valley High, is always looking to create a gateway for students to read more and jumped on the Among Us bandwagon. She curated a list for students of books and short stories that share the same themes as the game. Meanwhile, Mrs. Walker's art class at Livingston High used Among Us as inspiration for an enrichment assignment where students followed a tutorial to draw their own Among Us characters. They also got to personalize their drawings by adding accessories.
It actually exceeded our expectations.
Mrs. Davenport and her fellow ag instructors at El Capitan High held a team-building gamer night in which students got to choose which game they played. Among Us was far and away the most requested.
We knew the students were excited about it because it's all they talk about, and in class, that's all they want to do is play Among Us. Obviously, we don't let them do that during class time.
The turnout was huge, and the gameplay continued long after the event concluded.
We actually had students meet new people and then make their own Among Us Zoom call after the event was over, because we were like, oh, it's an hour and a half, that's all we get. And then after that they kept playing for another few hours. It was really cool because it met our goal of having them meet new friends.
Stop talking, I can talk my way out of it. Not anymore.
And it's that social interaction, especially during this time of social distancing, that many feel is the reason behind the game's popularity.
The social interaction alone for these kids right now, it was invaluable because a lot of these students, they hadn't seen each other, never met each other, especially we were on strict distance learning. Some of them met in these rooms and then they kept playing with each other even beyond our meetings. So, just the value in that alone to get rid of kind of some of that aloneness that they were feeling during distance learning, it was kind of special to see.
And it's not just teachers who see the benefits of incorporating Among Us in the classroom.
It makes the class a lot more fun, and it makes people actually want to participate rather than just sitting there and doing nothing, which is what most kids do, sadly.
It could be a way to teach students information but still have it being fun at the same time, because I feel like that's a thing a lot of teachers struggle with right now, is keeping the students engaged.
So whether it's being used as a reward or a part of the curriculum, Among Us has definitely had an impact at MUHSD.
Definitely broke the ice. I haven't had a class like this in a long time that are so close to each other.